Back. No, this is not a bad Independence Day move movie here. So let's see if we get some 5x5s, and Jacobs usually jump on here pretty quick. And I'm waiting for the screen to go, and there goes the screen. And I'm waiting. There we go. So let's see. And I see 5x5. Hello, everybody. We are finally back after a week off, and thank you for all coming back and not abandoning me after disappearing for a week. It's good to be back. Trust me, I'd much rather be sitting here talking to y'all than dealing with the crap that I dealt with last week. I mean, not that I'm complaining about a little bit of time off, but like Mrs. P and I both said, crap, it was more stressful being on that trip than it was being at home. So, it's nice to be back. So, all right. So, how's everybody liking this heat? Except for us. I mean, which is kind of funny, kind of going to vacation thing. Saw a few of you guys commenting in there. Somebody said Nebraska. Somebody said, I think it was Delaware. You guys are all up in the 90s. It's a nice 77 degrees here in Tennessee at the moment. Okay. So, somebody explain to me how it is warmer up in New England than it is down here. And God knows I remember the humidity up there, and it's like cutting it with a knife. So it's funny, even being in South Carolina last week or over the weekend or however you want to put it, it was 80, but humid beyond belief. It reminded me of being back in Boston again, of walk out the door and you're sweating right away just because of the humidity. So, but this was something interesting because I was watching this about this heat wave that's going through, and I've done, another one of these years when we went from winter to summer. Okay, no spring. But for at least those of you in New England, this is kind of scary stuff. Okay, according to Bloomberg, electricity prices in New England tripled on Monday from a year ago. Now, that gets worrisome because, I know my electric bill ain't cheap, and I know up in New England my electric bill was never cheap, and if it triples, that's going to be crazy. According to Mass Power, I guess, they're saying that Massachusetts is going to hit its peak electricity usage in June, where they usually hit it in August. So if June's going to be hot, let's see what happens to July and August, when it's traditionally hot. So, watch the budget. But that, kind of comes into an interesting thing because May's inflation numbers come out Thursday. And y'all know when good old Uncle Sam reports our inflation numbers, they're ex food and energy, don't include food and energy, which is where we're seeing a boatload of inflation. Though not all of it, and that's actually going to be the topic of tomorrow morning's video, is some of my observations from this past week of what's going on. So, yeah, kind of interesting there with what's going on economically and all. We'll say the same thing. Y'all know my thoughts when we talk about economics here. Y'all know my thoughts on Bitcoin, and I keep telling people it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Okay, 33,000 now, is 38 last week. Again, if it breaks 30, guys, it's going down to 28. That's another 5K loss. Just telling you. I've been telling you that this is not a good thing to own right now for a long time. Some people say, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world. Your choice. I'm just going to give you a dose of reality here. Silver, still bouncing around that 28 range, which is fine. It's, I think it closed at 27.72 or something. Still a buyer here, guys. Still buying silver. I actually got my order of copper that I ordered a couple of weeks ago. Showed up, it was on the doorstep when we got home yesterday. So that's just kind of a small hedge, if you will, playing the copper side of things. I mean, copper's cheap for the most part, compared to silver, definitely compared to gold. But it's a good thing, if you will, for change in a SHTF situation. So that's just something in me. I'm not telling anybody go out and start buying copper up like crazy. Silver, yes, I am saying that. Copper, no. Maybe just have a little bit if you want it. It's not that expensive. Okay. So that's kind of the start to the day. You know how we'll do everything as per normal. It's Q&A. For all those of you who are new, I saw somebody in here who said this was her first time. I think her name was Tina, so welcome, Tina. We have some fun in here. People are very nice, very helpful, and that's all a good thing. And gotta say, guys, this morning's video, boy, did I love reading the comments and seeing some of the creative ideas that people had on however you want to call it, upcycling, recycling, free cycling, whatever it would be, on getting stuff. I think that's something that's really important to do now, because right now people are throwing away perfectly good things that we can save. I'm not going to say hoard, okay? Somebody said, oh, you're talking about hoarding now. No, I'm not. I'm just talking about being prepared and have stuff and reusing stuff rather than spending God knows how much money. As everything gets more and more expensive, you know, we've got to find ways to save our money. You know, we still need to have 100% of the stuff we need. We just don't need, you know, as everything gets more expensive, there's only 100% of your paycheck. You know, you can't spend 120% of your paycheck to get 100% of what you need. So you got to get creative here and think a little bit. It's like, okay, how can I do this myself? How can I make it, you know, do whatever? And I'll give you this, in the whole process of doing that, what you are also doing, whether or not you realize it, is you are creating a skill, okay? If you're the person that knows how to grow potatoes in tires, or, I mean, I know a few people mentioned that, or how to find nuts and bolts and forge them into a knife, and you know how to do that, those are skills you will have in an SHTF, and those are also things that you can barter with, because when YouTube is gone, when the internet is gone, you know, people going, how do I grow potatoes? It's all rocky soil around here. And you're going, well, let me show you something. I can show you a trick. You know, hey, I'll happily show you, you know, how about a couple of those apples over there, whatever it would be, you know. So, you know, you've got some skills that you're adding. So, you know, just whether or not you believe it, you're still learning stuff, okay? You will until the day they put you 6 feet under. You'll continue to learn, you know. The brain doesn't have a capacity and go, full, you know, here we are. So it'll still take stuff, get rid of stuff, and do whatever. All right, so that's that. Only other thing I wanted to touch on, guys, we are getting close, okay? As of right now, as I refresh the page, we have 24,394 subscribers. I told you, 25,000, we do the next... The Price is Right, or whatever the hell we want to call the game. I don't know, but we will do that. So hopefully they'll be in the next few weeks. Hopefully it'll be sometime this month. I was hoping it'd be in May because I have reasons for that. But that is coming. So as we get there, we will keep going. Like I said, the number doesn't really make a difference to me. It's just a milestone, if you will. It's, you know, it's a target for something like this. That's what I care about. I mean, like I said a million times, you know, I care less if I had 1 million subscribers. If only one person's getting something out of it, the other 999,999, you know, I'm wasting their time. So that's not the idea. We're trying to pass along and share good information amongst us all. So as the family gets bigger, obviously I want to do what I can to help the family and everything like that. So that's what's going on. Okay. For the newbies and for everybody else, a reminder, we do Q&A here every Tuesday night, every Saturday night. That's kind of the point, the chance for you guys to ask me questions. What I ask is that you put your questions to me in all caps. That way I can see them. It makes it a lot easier when I'm scrolling through the comments trying to find them. Okay. Completely understand you all have conversations, sharing information amongst yourselves. If that stays in lowercase, that just allows me to avoid it and lets me get to the questions a little bit quicker. And obviously, that's the whole point. Guess what? As many answers as we can get out here. So the faster I can do it, the better off we all are. I try to get to every question. I start at the top. I work my way down. If I haven't answered your question, read your question in like 10 minutes, feel free to post it again. As we get more and more people in here, sometimes I run out of time. I apologize. If it's something that I do miss, feel free to email it to me if it's important that you want to do it. But go that way. Other than that, ask you to keep it family friendly. PG-13 is fine. Okay. As for those of you who are new that don't know, my executioners, otherwise known as moderators, are on a strict no tolerance. There isn't a 300-second warning. You piss them off, you get the bye-bye. Okay. We keep the trolls out of here very well. In the chats, we keep them out. In the comments, everywhere. I have no time for trolls, and they disappear real quick. And if any of you all saw the video I did a couple of weeks ago about one, that should pretty much tell you my thoughts on trolls. So go from there. All right. So that being said, I see at least Jacob and Patriot Sandwich Maker in here. I believe North Shore is taking a break from YouTube for a while. So you two guys are on your own here for a while, but hopefully, you have chased all the mice away for a while. So we'll go from there. All right. Greetings to everybody. I will get names as we go. 573 of you guys in here now. So, I appreciate every one of you being here. Please don't take it as a diss that I don't say hi or something. Would rather answer questions than read names. So, all right. So let me go back to as close to the top as I can get, and let's see what you guys have. So Carla Palmer says, welcome home. Thank you. And Oinball. I love typos, especially when they're funny. Okay. Matthew says, howdy from Houston, Texas. I saw your post this morning on some expensive hotel that you wound up stuck in. So yes. Teresa says 90s in Southeast Wisconsin. Yeah, that kills me. I mean, that's got to be rough too. I don't know how close you are to the lake or anything like that, but yeah, you guys, I know you get the humidity up there. Lorna says heat index 103 in Southeast Texas. Keep it. Okay. I'm perfectly happy with this 77. All right. My brassicas are still hanging in there. I mean, actually, it looks like I got heads forming on my cabbage. Finally, I don't know if they're going to make it before it gets too hot, but that sort of stuff. Teresa, tornado warnings in Ontario? That's interesting. Okay, Big Bear Prep says hello. Hello back. Hobby Garden for Health, thank you for the videos, even while both of you were out of town. It's important. I keep up on what's going on in the world and everything as best I can. And it's important for me to share this with you, okay? I mean, in here, because the only way that we are going to defeat the evil of the world is if we are informed. And, for some of you guys, I am the information superhighway, if you will. I pay attention to what's going on to a lot of stuff. The chance for me to share it makes me feel good. Plus, it makes me a better person because it forces me to do more research and learn more about each one of these things so I can talk to you guys intelligently and coherently rather than just be some talking head who's reading a script. So, benefits on both sides, trust me. And I enjoy it. That's the other thing. I enjoy talking to you guys and reading comments and reading emails and having relationships, not those kind of relationships, but, having relationships with you guys and knowing what's going on and you guys know what's going on. So it's kind of what friendship's all about. Small family, small budget. Michigan, 90s, hot and humid. Bruce, 91 degrees in mass humidity. Pam Fury, Mid-Atlantic has a cold front coming about the 14th or 15th. Okay. Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. I mean, it was a weatherman predicting something a week out when they can't get something right tomorrow. I'll believe it when I was saying it. Teresa said, Pinball, I was just saying how the weather is almost switched north and south. As long as we don't start getting snow down here. I moved down here to get away from all that stuff. I don't want any more snow. I don't mind an inch or two here for Christmas or something. That's why I don't knock the power out last year. But I have no idea or no interest ever in seeing snow plows and, 12-foot high piles of snow like I remember seeing in New Hampshire. Let's see. Patty, 27 degrees in Germany. So let's see, that would be times 2 is 54 plus 32, 86. So you're probably, about 80 degrees Celsius? Yeah, so you're probably pretty similar to what we are in Tennessee, maybe just a slight bit warmer. Yeah, Jacob, my AC's on blast. I had to triple my budget I set aside. Well, that's Massachusetts. That explains it. All right. Let's see. Going down here. Here's all this is probably when I just came in. Okay, Pam Fury mentions the Don food hack. I heard something about that real briefly. And I guess we'll talk about this for a couple of minutes. We got to be very, very watchful of what's going on with all this stuff. There was a story today. The media, as per normal, okay, is lying about crap. All right. And I saw a story today where they were saying that the media was saying that the FBI hacked into DarkSide, or whatever the name of that hacker group is that was with the Colonial Pipeline, and got all the money back, okay? Now, supposedly, and again, big caveat here, supposedly that the FBI has gotten the money back. The way they got the money back was not because they hacked into DarkSide's crypto wallet or something like that. It was that the money had not been, the transfer somehow hadn't been completed yet, or whatever it was. And so when it went, it showed up on their side. It wasn't a hack, okay? Which the scary part for all those of you who like all this crypto crap, the scary part is if the FBI could, as they claimed, hack into your crypto wallet and take all your crypto, then what I'm telling you is just another reason why in the hell would you want to be in there? The whole reason that people are getting out of the banks, the dollars, whatever it is because we don't want the government to control our money. So if you're going to go into the crypto and the FBI can come in and say, gee, you know what? Morning Light here has $14,000 worth of crypto. Poof, gone. Okay. This is the same thing we were talking about, this CBDC stuff where, gee, I'm sorry, Miss Jones, you are only allotted for 2 loaves of bread this month, so we're not allowing that transaction. Okay. This is the point. If they can hack into Bitcoin, then it's no different than the government doing it. So if that's what the media is telling them, that's going on, great. Now, I don't believe that the FBI hacked it from what I'm seeing. But if they're saying it's hackable, and you know damn well that the government's trying to do it, you're not doing yourself any favors. Again, physical anything is the only thing you want to own. I mean, until you hang on a second. 1 second. Just because this is funny. This is as close to Bitcoin as I will ever get to own. Okay, it was just kind of a joke. It's a 1 ounce piece of copper with a Bitcoin symbol on it. Okay, but I have it physically. Okay, so there you go. That's the closest I'm ever getting to Bitcoin. All right. So watch the hacks. Because they're going to continue and they're just going to start happening more and more. Again, it's like, why don't we pay kidnappers? Because it just encourages them to kidnap more. Well, if they're paying these ransomware people, it's just going to encourage more and more to come out of the woodwork and start doing ransomware. And okay, you have to have some of these huge organizations to get a Colonial or something like that. Oh, Karen, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Do you have to have some of these big hacking organizations to get into Colonial or JBS or something like that? But you could have some high school kid or whatever who figures out how to hack into the local hardware store and he can say, pay me $1,000, otherwise I'm going to shut down your system. Okay. So yeah, all this is doing is enticing more people to do it. Why these companies don't have all their stuff, secure, I have no idea. Because, like we said before, comms was next, and we already saw that. If it hits the banks, you're going to have an entire country of pissed off people going, how in the hell is my money not secure? Okay. I think the banks would piss off more people than the power grid would. But yeah, I mean, the companies are responsible for protecting themselves from hacks, not the government, not your tax dollars. So when you get all these companies going, oh, the government has to help us and they have to pay for all no, it's your responsibility to protect yourself, just like it's your responsibility to protect your home, okay? You buy insurance in case the house burns down, okay? You buy whatever weaponry you have to protect against bad guys, okay? It's not, you didn't go call up your senator and go, hi, Mr. Senator, I need you guys to buy me a weapon and buy home insurance on my house. No, you did that yourself, and the companies need to do it again. So that's that. Teresa, Bitcoin was dropping. Pinball's always the best advice. Buy silver. I'm not saying that, okay? But again, just reading the tea leaves and telling you, a little bit of my knowledge, my experience. I'd like to share that with you guys and not charge you for it like every damn broker is trying to do. Okay. Let's see, where are we? Gina, large fire in a factory in China produces something needed for electronic and solar panels. I saw that real quick. Let me see if I can flip back to it real quick. I was taking a look at it real fast, and I apologize. Didn't take a look into that one. But yeah, there we go. A Chinese polysilicon plant. Yes. So again, things that are used to make plastics, chips, anything of the sort like that. So yeah, forget it. Anything that you want that's electronic or has electronic chips in it, cars, televisions, whatever, expect those to go up in price and you're not going to have much of a selection of it because, there was a story last week about a car dealership that had 2 cars on a lot. Okay, when's the last time you saw, a Ford dealership with 2 cars on a lot? It's because there aren't any more to back it up. Lisa Swisher, hello. Where do you recommend buying silver? Thank you. So 2 places. And again, I did a video on it. I'm not going to go into all details. If you look back a couple of weeks ago, there's a video on how to buy silver. I think that's what it's titled. But that'll tell you how to do it online, where to start. The other way is to go to your local coin shops and talk to the coin dealers there. Just when you go to the coin shops, go in armed, print out, and obviously the prices fluctuate, but I mean, they're going to fluctuate within 50 cents or something like that during the time it takes you to print it out and drive there. But, if you can get 1 ounce silver rounds online for $32 and the guy at the coin shop says he wants $35, tell the guy at the coin shop to go fly a kite. I'll just buy it online, cut you out of the whole deal and pay $32. Okay. But there's a whole video up a couple of weeks ago. It's how to buy silver, shows you where to start with, compare silver prices. You can look at all the different bullion dealers and then explains in it what's worth buying, what's not worth buying. So go back, take a look at that one. Lorna P, I had to post a warning today about the crypto spammers on Pinball's video. Don't fall for it. Okay. If I didn't see any in the comments, so I don't know where they're. Guys, if you know me, y'all know what, especially when it comes to crypto, I'm never going to tell you to buy crypto. All right. But y'all know me well enough that if there's anybody that you ever see in the comments, because obviously I'm not sitting here 24/7 saying, trying to sell you something. Okay. It ain't me. All right. And as soon as I see it, I will boot it. But again, I'm not watching comments 24/7 coming up. So if you see something in the comments trying to sell you something, just ignore it, report it, do whatever. The spammers are in there. I do my best to keep the spammers out, but please, understand, I'm not ever going to try to sell you something. Vicky, today's the anniversary of USS Liberty. Yes, it is. Okay. There you go. Patriot Sandwich Maker put up compare silver prices. That helps. Thank you. Crypto Night. Why are Fauci and Biden administration protecting China? Because they're getting kickbacks like crazy. I mean, Hunter's whole story with China and the big guy getting 10%. You know all that. So, I mean, I don't have to rehash the stuff with Biden. That's, we all know he's in Biden's back, or he's in Xi's back pocket like crazy. Fauci, on the other hand, is trying to keep himself out of prison. All right. It's, as the news comes out, he's now, for lack of a better term, money laundering money to the Wuhan lab for this. He was financing the creation of this stuff. I think you guys probably know the story about the book he wrote trying to profit off of his genius leadership throughout the pandemic. And then, of course, there was so much backlash that Barnes & Noble and Amazon and everybody refused to publish sell the book. Fauci's a dirtbag. He's a profiteer, and all he's done in this whole thing is lie from day one about the pandemic, just for the simple reason so he could have his 15 minutes, which is now turned into 15 months of fame, and to try to profit from it. Okay. This is it. I mean, we all knew, most of us knew from the beginning, this guy was a slime ball. Okay. Now the rest of the world starting to realize, it's like, hey, wait, those guys were right. Go figure. Okay. Let's see. Metal for breakfast, beard shave at 25,000. Nope, that ain't it. Sorry. That's better than 3 years growth, so that's about as best as it's going to get. Take me too long to get everybody back. Robert Winslow, what's everybody drinking tonight? My normal Tuesday, my non-alcoholic beer. And I needed a sip. Okay. Melanie Carnation, I'm in a quandary. Should I sell enough stock to pay off my mortgage now in total, or incrementally to spread out the capital gains, which would be 10%? Okay, so obviously the capital gains on your stock sale there. Yeah, that. See, there's a lot of questions that I want to ask in this one is, and I don't want you to answer them here because it's a little too personal, but how much you owe on your house, what your tax bracket is, whatever it would be, but I will give you this thought, and you can pretty much look at anywhere, all right, YouTube, brokerage firms, statistical analysis, technical analysis, whatever it would be. And everybody and their mother is telling you that the market we're in a bubble. Okay. And nobody's going to tell you where the top is. There's nobody that's going to say, oh, when the market, when the S&P gets to 4350, that's the top, you need to sell there. I mean, nobody's got a crystal ball. But my question to you would be this, would you be okay paying the 10% capital gains tax now, or would you be okay if the stock market took a 20% haircut and you lost the 20% in the value of your stocks and still had to pay the 10% on the remaining profit you have? So yours is very much a risk reward question. And, is it worth paying the taxes knowing your house is paid off? Or is it worth not paying the taxes, taking the risk that if the market tanks, and I still stand by, I tell you that we're going to see below 20,000 on the Dow this year. Is it worth that risk that, your investments take a complete hit and you still own your mortgage? So that's my question. So if you read between the lines, you probably hear my answer in there, but I can't say it because I can't give you financial advice. And it wouldn't be responsible for me to. But if it was me in my situation, yeah. Okay. Bruce Sear, hey Pinball, do you have a metal detector? No, I don't. One of the guys in my mag does. Uh, I've thought it looks like it'd be fun to go out and especially where I am because I mean there were Civil War battles supposedly here and stuff like that. I mean this is very rural, so I'd probably find some old stuff out there. I just don't have the time. I'd love to go out and see if I can find silver coins, gold coins. I mean, there's one channel I like to watch every once in a while where the guy's out in fields, and I think they're in Pennsylvania or something like that, and finding old coins from the Revolutionary War, the Civil War. It's kind of cool to watch to see what they find. I just don't have the time for it. They just spend all day Saturday out metal detecting an old farm. I got 12 other things that are more important to do on a Saturday. But in a worst case scenario, we need a metal detector. He's got one because that's how we were finding pins on a property. Chief Zim, 25K wears his army dress uniform on Saturday Live. Nope. Nope. Sorry. I don't think it would even fit anymore. When I get buried, they're going to have to tailor it for me. Robert Winslow, you guys are no fun. Sorry, it's Tuesday. It's a work night. Crypto Night, do I recommend a high tunnel? I can't say I recommend one because I don't have one, okay? Y'all know that I watch Deep South Homestead and Danny and Wanda and everything like that, and they've done some amazing things with their high tunnels, okay? And, some amazing growth, and that's great. But, again, you got to remember, them being in southern Mississippi, a high tunnel is going to be completely different, a different experience for them than it's going to be for somebody in central Nebraska or, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So how it's going to work there. That's something that you're going to need to ask somebody in a local area, is this worth it? The other issue I have, if you guys have priced these things, okay, for a decent sized one, like the one, when the Deep South's got and what Danny did to put the fans and everything like that, it's over 10 grand per high tunnel. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that kind of money to spend on a high tunnel to grow vegetables. I understand some people do. Okay, that's fine. But right now I'm not going to say I'm against it by any means. Great idea. It's just, it ain't in my budget by a long shot. And, let's put it this way. If I could, I'd check it out much more seriously about doing it again from the same thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago with chemtrails and things like that. That would be my reason more than anything else. Sure, could I grow in winter at that point? Yeah, but I'm in a temperate enough zone where it's not 90 degrees in April like it is for them down south, and it's not 2 degrees in April like it is for y'all up north. Okay, so that's a question that you really need to see if in your immediate area that it works. Okay, I can't. It's too, the United States way too generic. Carla Palmer, I can only imagine what will happen in the West Coast when it comes to utilities with the drought. Well, I saw an article yesterday that California and Nevada are now officially saying they are 100% in a drought emergency. Okay. And I haven't talked to friends of mine in Vegas in a few weeks, but last I heard that Lake Mead is just going down and going down and going down. And that's not only the water for that area, that's also the electricity. Okay, because a lot of them are on hydroelectric. Hoover Dam's a hydroelectric dam, so there's a double whammy in there, and I mean that affects Arizona, Southern California, and Southern Nevada. So going to be interesting. But I mean, we're looking at the majority of the area west of the Mississippi River in a drought. I mean, I saw in the same article, I saw that I think it was either North Dakota or South Dakota, that they're having so little rain that the cattle don't have enough that the farmers have, the ranchers have to go out and buy feed because there isn't enough grass growing for the cows to eat. So, there's another no rain, obviously, direct influence, no vegetables, no fruits. But now you talk about no rain means no grass for the cows, which means the price for for beef goes up. Okay, so follow the pattern there, and you see, okay, maybe people don't think, Democrats don't think past here, but yeah, so drought can affect your hamburger prices. Yeah, people, oh wow, I never thought about it that way. So yeah, well, it's why they're politicians. They don't think about anything. Okay. Overwatch. Wow, no prepper ever covered magnet fishing. Okay, don't know that. Steelhead trout. Doink. So, there you go. Let's see. Whoops, it just shot up. So hang on, I got to try to get back to where I was. I am way behind. I can see this. Okay, I can get as far as I can get up to the top. I'm sorry if I missed some in the middle here. So let's see where we got here. Pam Fury says our house insurance went up, said due to lack in current credits. Yeah, okay. There's a problem. I mean, I was explaining this to Mrs. P the other day. That's always the funny part. When you don't owe money, your credit rating goes down. So the only way that you can have good credit is by having outstanding debt. Okay. That makes no sense, because y'all know we're close to paying off the house, and I'm wondering how that's going to affect our credit rating when all of a sudden we don't have a mortgage. But yeah, and you saying your insurance went up. I mean, I call the insurance company and go, okay, somebody please explain this to me, because you're putting too much weight into my credit score and not into my financial capacity. Okay, so talk to them. A lot of times they can figure out ways to fix that. Catgirl 66, hey Pinball, people on Long Island are about as friendly as Savannah. All right, Long Island's a little better than New York City, but I'd expect rudeness in New York. I was kind of shocked to see it in Georgia and South Carolina, so it was interesting. Okay, we talked about that one. Rip Curl. Kate Brown, Oregon, just used her emergency powers to pass a law requiring gun owners to have gun locks on all firearms and other restrictions. Thoughts? I'll give you the same thought I've given many times. Enforce it. Okay? How in the world are you going to enforce that? Is all of a sudden she going to take all the police off the street to knock on the door of every house and go, hi, Mr. Curl, we'd like to see all your weapons, please. As somebody's getting robbed, beaten, car wreck, fire, whatever it is down the street, and they're going to check. There's no way to enforce it. It's again, can't think. Sounds great. It'll please the libtards out there. Oh, look, Kate's doing something good to make sure there's gun locks on everybody. You're not going to be able to enforce it, And again, the stupidity of them. And this is the reason for them to. What good is having a gun for self-protection if there's a gun lock on it? Somebody breaks into your house. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Robber, hang on. Can I get my keys real quick? Because I need to unlock my pistol here so I can. All right. No, that thing should be locked and loaded, ready to go. And the only thing you need to do is grab it out of your nightstand or under your pillow or wherever you keep the thing, flip the safety off and, aim and shoot. That's it. Okay. That's about the extent of the time you have. So, yeah, gun locks on firearms it's not enforceable, and it's stupid. Okay. So the first person that gets fined, whatever the penalty is going to be, they're in court and this gets thrown out. I mean, there's no justification for it. Okay. Mama Preps 4, I just bought 6 more ounces of silver. Good deal. Let's see. Oh, Jacob posted the video on how to buy silver up there. Good deal. Kiss my grits. Highway repair delayed where I am due to cement shortage, they said. I actually heard that this week, that there's a concrete shortage. So this is, I've heard it in one little spot, but that was, yeah, I mean, again, that's not BS that somebody's saying to you there. That I've heard this. Okay. Yeah, Rooster. Remember Ronald Reagan's comment when in office, the worst thing that can happen is have a government employee. Yeah, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The scariest 9 words in the English language. Let's see. Crypto Knight, thank you for the super chat there. I'm just scrolling down. So, I mean, if you guys did it a little bit ago, I apologize. That's just when I'm seeing this. Dirty like the government. Chuck Schumer has Democrat ad after a lot of your videos. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny. You guys were telling me earlier this week that there was a bunch of Stacey Abrams videos, and I was like, okay, it's a good thing that YouTube does this, wide angle screen, because that's the only way you'd fit her fat ass on here. But yeah, it's the only term I can use is counter programming. Their algorithms watch all this and go, okay, obviously this guy's a conservative, so we need to put the rebuttal in there and go, oh, blah, 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 we need to have, the next lunatic idea, we need people to support it. You can't listen to this guy. You need to listen to Chuck Schumer on an ad because Chuck Schumer is so much more credible than Pinball is. I mean, that's all their idea. They're just counter programming. Let's see. South Colorado Setter. I start my cybersecurity internship tomorrow. Cool. Okay, there you go. Congratulations. Sassy 56 plus. Do I think anything will ever happen to these criminals like Fauci? No. They'll be shielded, and from it'll get buried so far. I mean, why did nothing ever happen to Hillary? Okay, I mean, pick any. They get shielded under so much misinformation, and watch what this hand's doing, not what this hand's doing. Then of course, if anything happened, Biden goes, oh, pardon. Remember, there's a different set of rules for people at that level, and we don't get to play in that pool. So no, nothing will ever happen to him because he's crooked, and the guys that are funding him are crooked, and the guys that enforce the laws that would, go after him are crooked. So yeah, Paul Taylor, Fauci's in the big club, nothing will come to this. Of course, Fauci's in the big club. He's, Joe Biden's got his nose so far up Fauci's ass to take a crowbar to separate the two of them if he stopped too fast. Sheena's ketovore weight journey. How to rid your property of voles. I don't have any, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the issue. I've never had the issue, so that one I'm not going to be able to help you with. Rooster, are you sure potato isn't in his front pocket? Yeah, face forward. We'll just leave it at that. Marie Seymour, where do I recommend buying copper rounds? What site? I got them from, let me just make sure if I can find it correctly here. Oh, where did I get it? Hang on. I'm trying to find it. Golden State Mint is where I got them from. It is goldenstatemint.com. They actually had some. They have a whole. Going to say is copper sold by the pound. I get that, but they have something printed out, stamped out into a coin. Whatever you get. I mean, it's Again, I'm using this as a hedge, not as anything else. Okay, where were we? Jeremy Sullivan, what would you recommend to do with junk silver, broken or mismatched jewelry? Leave it like it is or get it melted down? Personally, I'd probably get it melted down. And again, this is personal. Just because it's going to be a lot easier to do a transaction in something that's stamped as a 1 ounce gold bar or something that's got a certified weight to it, rather than say, look, I've got this trinket here and somebody can't, I don't know if that's silver or aluminum, I don't know what the weight is. And of course you've got, this it's a 1 ounce 999 fine silver or whatever it is. That would be my reason. At least there'd be some way to prove what it is or verify it. Rich Mountains, thank you for the super chat. Fauci and company need to be defendants in a Nuremberg trial. Ain't that the truth? I mean, this guy's the second coming of Joseph Mengele. All right. Let's see. Crypto Knight, what do I do if the Biden government shows up at my door looking for guns? Don't answer the door. Unless they got a warrant, they can't come in the house. Okay? I mean, this is the thing. They can knock on the, sir, can I come in your house? No. And they can't. Do you have a warrant? No. Okay. If they have a warrant, then there's nothing you can do. Sir, can I come in the house? No, I've got a warrant. Either let me in or we're breaking down the door. They have to have a court order. And Kate Brown is, Kate Brown's governor's order, whatever the hell you want to call it, executive order out of the governor's office. They're not going to issue warrants for every house in Oregon going, we have a warrant to come in your house to look. No, they don't, because the judge has to sign off on them. Can you imagine a rubber stamp? Every house in Oregon? Good luck. All right. If they show up at the door, sorry, no, you can't come in. That's it. Go get a warrant. And as soon as they tell you that, go get a warrant. Great. Let them go get a warrant. And while they're going to get the warrant, you're out digging a hole in the backyard. So, here I want to read this one because this throws me. Here in New York, even if you own your house outright, my property taxes are $1,100 a month. Okay, that's nuts, because that's more than my mortgage, and including my property tax. I mean, my property taxes on this place are $1,800 a year. Okay, and that's for 3 acres. If you're paying $1,100 a month in property taxes, it's time to move. Okay, that's just. I mean, you're talking what, $13,200 a year in tax. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, and I understand. Well, their answer. Well, the salt tax, and we've got to pay for this and everything. Okay. For some goofy reason, I can pay 1.5 times a year what you pay in a month. And Tennessee seems to work, operate totally fine. I've got police. My roads are in good shape. Everything is sort. Don't seem to have a problem. So where's all that money going? It's getting pissed away. That's what you get for living in a state that has blue leadership that, the only thing they know how to do is spend your money. I agree with you. It's absolutely insane. But I mean, somebody else made a comment yesterday, and it was either yesterday or Sunday on the video, that their principal on or I forget what it was. I think it was the principal on their house. Somehow, some way, their taxes were more than what their house was worth. It was just insane. It's like, then it's time to get out. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. You're allowing yourself to be owned by Cuomo in your case. Sandra Templeton, I bought 10 silver rounds from SD Bullion, and the final price went up $40 at checkout. What was that for? Well, with the sites, you're because the price varies. Okay, the silver market's moving. but your price is usually fixed on there for, I think, 5 or 6 minutes or whatever to allow you to complete the transaction. Okay, so even if the price went up, now if you took 20 minutes to enter everything, the price changed. But remember, it's not necessarily the final price went up. You have sales tax depending on what state you're in, okay, that you have to pay on it. And then I off the top of my head, I can't remember what SD's shipping is, but if you had any sort of shipping charge or whatever it was, but sales tax is part of what got you. I mean, for me, sales tax here is almost 10%. So you figure if I'm buying 1 round of silver at say 32.50, I'm paying 3.25 in sales tax per round. You bought 10, there's 32.50 right there. I pay in sales tax. So my guess is a lot of that was sales tax. There are some states you don't pay sales tax, but a lot of them you do. I've I've never crypto. You mentioned magnet fishing, or I think it was crypto. Then I just rolled past it. And then Teresa's. I've never magnet fished in my life, so I'm joking when I said steelhead trout. I don't know. I passed it halftime. Yeah, that was 20 minutes ago. Rose Young, in Connecticut, in the winter, I paid 3 times more for delivery for electric than I used this month. Paid 100 for usage, or 40 for usage, and 100 for delivery. That's nuts. Okay, that's how we're getting robbed. That's the stuff that you don't see in this these inflation numbers and things like that. Inflation is on the cost of the good. It's not on the delivery, the service charge, all the nickel and dime crap that gets you, that you still got to write the check for, okay? But this is where, so it's personal inflation that you see coming out of your account, but it's not something that's reportable. So they can go, oh, look, inflation's only 3%. Yeah, right. I'm going, yeah, but then why the hell is my bank account down 30% from where it was last year? Crypto, nobody said you were a bad person. You can mine crypto all you want. If you can get it for free, then you can never lose money. But the ones that are buying it, that's the ones I think is just foolish. Okay, with Sunset, we covered that. Okay, I'm just a couple of you guys talking about high tunnels here. So, I mean, obviously I'm 20 minutes behind here. Yep, and now it's scrolled all the way to the bottom. Holy crap, it's 10 minutes to 9. Let's see. All right, so I'll get back up to where I can. So Dave says you can buy unstamped copper rounds for $1.70 an ounce with free shipping on eBay. Okay, yeah, I mean, and there you go. As long as they are copper, that's better than what I was paying for them. So, again, like I told you, I could care less about the pretty designs on them or anything. I'm not playing coin collector here. I want it for the metal content, and I didn't know about that. So thank you for that tip. Rooster says he got copper at AppMax. Let's see, where are we? Tanya Bednarchik, the Don Food cyber attack, is it for real? From what I understand, yes. I only heard about it about a half an hour before we came on the show, so I haven't had a chance to look into it, but I have seen it in a couple of places. Pegleg Living, bye-bye Carolina, go Lightning. So I'm guessing you are a hockey fan and a Tampa Bay fan. Actually, we were at the hotel the other day, sitting down at the end of the day, and they had the Islanders Bruins game on, and the Islanders won 4-1, and I was pissed because the two teams I will root for are the Bruins and the Golden Knights. So, one John Thompson picked up a roll of Mercury dimes this week. Good deal. Okay, there you go. Okay, I just passed this one. Dope heathen. There's a name for you. $1,500 a year for 40 acres. Okay, I'm assuming that's property taxes. Yeah, I mean that's understandable. Okay, to me that I mean, if it's 40 acres and a house, that's cheap. Okay, but I mean, if it's just the land, I mean that's good. Uh, Cat Girl 66. We tried to buy rent in Tennessee, but nothing available. Really tough time to buy. Uh, Depends on what you're trying to get and where you're trying to get it. Around me, uh, the Northeast Tennessee, Union County, Claiborne County, that whole area. I mean, I look to see what's out there quite often, property wise, things. There's still property for sale. There's still houses for sale. I mean, it's not as much as it used to be, but there's still stuff around here. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Rooster, that's incredible. We have 12 and a half acres in Missouri, taxes $2,100 a year. Okay, that's fair. JB Preps, $1,000 for a house and 35 acres. That's cheap. Uh, yeah, Doug Jacobs saying those New York property taxes are more than double. Welcome to living in a blue state. Okay. And I know some of them, like New Hampshire, will say, but we don't have any state income tax and we don't have any state sales tax. We got to make the money somewhere. Well, yeah, I understand that. Okay. But how much money do you really, I mean, there's not a whole lot in New Hampshire, guys. Okay. There's not a ton of people there. How much taxes they need? I mean, I think a friend of mine was telling me his condo was like $11,000 a year in property tax or whatever for a freaking condo. So, all right, I'm trying to see what else we got. Crypto Night, I feel safe in Texas. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, anywhere for the most part, I would say the red states I would feel pretty safe in. Okay, most of them. I mean, there's some that are real close to purple, but I mean, Indiana and Kentucky, I'm not sure. But Tennessee, North Carolina, no way. Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. Yeah, I'm pretty good with those. Okay. Anything else? I'm like, nah, not thinking. Okay, so I mean, Arizona can say they're a red state. I'm not buying it. Okay, there's too many California transplants. Forget about North Carolina and all the way up the coast. They're toast. So we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, I still think balkanization is coming, guys. I mean, I know that seems like a wacky idea, but right now this will tell you how scary it is. The only thing that is keeping us from balkanization right now is Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, because they're not towing the Nancy Pelosi party line. They're Democrats who are actually thinking a little bit. Crypto Night, thank you again. Not getting rid of the filibuster and letting Pelosi and Schumer railroad a whole bunch of stuff through Congress. I mean, that's pretty bad when the country hinges on Joe Manchin. Okay, he's a very moderate Democrat. Kristen Sinema's a whack job. Okay, so yeah, that's how scary. I mean, all bets are off if those two flip back and actually vote with their party. So, let's see, trying to catch as much as I can here. Did I get to the bottom? Oop, there's one. Grumpy old man, 5-bedroom, 3-bath house for sale in Colorado for $500,000. Front row seat to incoming nukes to NORAD. Make me an offer. I want to move ASAP. There you go. Yes. Yeah, at least you don't have to worry about a bomb shelter, because ain't nothing surviving if you're that close. Let's see, where else are we? Anything else? I think that's the end, and that's Jamie Lee. Why not Indiana? Indiana still is Indianapolis, that whole area. I mean, Fort Wayne, from what I'm hearing, is starting to flip blue. Indianapolis, that whole area is blue. You know, you still get Evan Bayh running his mouth and trying to influence politics out there. Indiana is still a red state, but there's too many bigger pockets of blue that are starting to worry me about it. They're almost falling into Michigan, Illinois way of thinking, and that's sad because Indiana is a nice state, and you know, if they're going to be corrupted by Michigan and Illinois, you know, those kind of politics, then you know, the state's doomed. So. All right, guys, 9 p.m. Thank you for everybody. Welcome back to all of us. I will see you all in the morning. Have a good one. Pinball out.